next square is the Snow White granny square, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colour yarns for this one. So down the bottom here, the blue is the royal blue, we've got the bright red, this is the vanilla, and then we've got coral, white and sky blue. Before we start, I just want to say well done everyone, and thank you so much for supporting me and everything, because we've hit 1,000 subscribers, and we hit it kind of like when we were in the middle of the last video, but like I said in that one, it took me like 4 weeks to film because I had so much going on. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone that's been using my videos. I do get so many wonderful comments from you all about how much I've helped you, and really that is exactly why I do this, because it just, I know it sounds proper cringe and cheesy, but it literally warms my heart that I'm able to help you. And I really should have gone into teaching, I think, because I really enjoy just helping people and watching them learn. And yes, so it means so much. And if you want to carry on with your comments and your likes and subscribing and stuff like that, please do, because every message you send me, whether it's, you know, I know there's been people that have highlighted that there's been a couple of problems with the videos that I've made. That is absolutely fine. Like, if I'm wrong, I'm human. Like, please tell me when I'm wrong. But yeah, every time you reach out and say hi, even if it's hi, I love hearing from you all. So I will stop being cringe now. And I guess we'll just move on to the video. So issue 24. I know there's been this one highlighted that it's been made twice in the magazines. So they've sent out a change of pattern, or like literally a change of colours, because I think it's the same pattern but a change of colours, but that's later on in the issues. So for this one we're going to stick to issue 24 using the colours that they've described. And so we are starting with yarn A, which is the coral. Make a slip knot, join it to your 4mm hook, and we'll go from there. This feels really strange to me because at the moment I'm making a hexie cardigan. I don't know if anyone's seen those patterns, but I'm using an 8mm hook and super chunky yarn. So to go to this really thin wool and a really small hook feels really strange. Anyway, I keep getting distracted. Let's move on. Coral yarn on our 4mm hook, slip knot, 4 chains. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch into our first chain, which is the first one we've made here. If you can't tell, just remember to count back 4 of your loops. So we're going into this one and then pulling that one straight through for our slip stitch. We're then chaining 3. 1, 2 and 3. And now we want to do 2 trebles into the ring in the middle. So we're going to yarn over, pull those apart so you can see the hole in the centre and go in through there. Pull up a loop so you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Got hair there already, haven't I? There we go. And now one more treble, yarn over, in through that centre and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 and pull through 2. From here you want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then we're doing 3 trebles into the ring. So yarn over. Oh, my non-working yarn's in the way. So there's 1 treble, and there's 2, and 3. We want to do that 3 times, the 2 chains, 3 trebles. So we've just done it once, then we're going to chain 2 and another 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3, chain 2 again, and then another 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3. We want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then we're joining with a slip stitch into our third chain. So those are our initial 3 chains that we did, which are these here. So then count, it's not focusing very well, is it? So count from the bottom. We've got 1 here, 2 here, and number 3 here. We want to go in through that one and slip stitch that one. And then we can fasten this one off, and we're going to be using yarn B, which is the vanilla, and it says to join to any corner space. Now the corner spaces are where we've done the 2 chains. You'll be able to see you've got a gap here, here, here and here. So join yarn B, the vanilla, to any of the corner spaces once you've fastened off. So that one there is joined on, and I've pulled up a loop on my hook already. And then from here we are going to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3, and then we want to do 2 trebles into that corner space. So yarn over, so the same stitch as before, pull through 2 and pull through 2, and then another one into that space, pull through 2 and pull through 2. We're then going to skip straight to the next corner space, so ignore these stitches here, we're going straight into the gap. So if you yarn over and go into that corner, we're going to do 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles. So there's 1, 2 and 3, 2 chains, and let's do another 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3. Straight into our next corner space. 1, 2 and 3, 2 chains, 1, 2, another 3 trebles into that space, 1, 2 and 3. Now our last corner, so 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and then another 3 trebles into that space, 1, 2 and 3. So now we're back at our first corner, and we want to do 3 trebles into that space. So there's 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2. We now need to join with a slip stitch instead of the top of our third chain. So I'm going into this one. And then we want to do a slip stitch into each of the next 2 trebles. So we're going into our next stitch, and there's one slip stitch there and your next slip stitch. We then want to do one more slip stitch, which is into that middle space there. So go through the space and slip stitch into that one. And we want to continue with yarn B for round 3. So we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we need to do 2 trebles into that space. So yarn over, pull through 2 and pull through 2. We're going to do this next treble slightly different. So yarn over and into the space and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Leave those last 2 on the hook because we need to change colour. We're going to change to our sky blue. So if you pick that one up now, and here's where it gets difficult and fiddly to film because I need 3 hands. So make sure you've got that one pulled tight and hold that one back underneath your fingers at the back. God, my nails look terrible there, sorry. They're really mucky. So yeah, hold that one underneath your fingers so you aren't loosening the tension on that one. We then want to put the sky blue over, and then we can pass this over. So pinch that yarn that I just said about, the tail end of the vanilla, pinch it between your index finger and your thumb over the other side, and then you can pull the sky blue through, and then you can pass back again, and then we can work with the sky blue from here. So now that we've got that one onto our hook, we're going to go into the next stitches, which will be in the corner space, but I'm going to carry my vanilla yarn along the back and crochet over it, so I've got it available for when I want to go into the next space, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm now just pinching the non-working tail of the sky blue just there, just so I can tighten that one on my hook. And I want to do 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles into the next corner space. So I've yarned over, and I want to pinch and hold my working yarn that we've just used of the vanilla right up against the back of the top of our work, because then if we go in through this space and pull up a loop and we do our first treble, can you see our vanilla yarn is now coming out of here, and as we move it along we'll be able to pick it back up when we want to use it when we get to the middle space of the next side. So we're doing 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles into this corner space. We want to carry on going over the vanilla yarn. So there's our second treble and our third. Now you can do 2 chains, but this is where you ignore that vanilla tail that you've got. So 1 and 2, and now we can go back to crocheting over that spare piece of yarn there that we've got. So there's 1, 2, and we're going to do the third treble of this corner in a similar way to rejoin the vanilla as we did before. So pull up, so you've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2. So we've got 2 loops left on the hook. We can then put our sky blue down, and we can pick up the vanilla that we've got, and we can then pull that one through, and that will be our leading colour again. If you tug on the sky blue slightly, it will tighten the stitch, but careful not to tighten it too much because otherwise you're going to lose your tension. We want to carry on doing the same now with the sky blue that we've just done with the vanilla, and carrying that one over so we've got the sky blue available for the next corner. So into the middle space we are doing 3 trebles. So if you yarn over, and then we're going here and we're crocheting over and catching that sky blue. So there's 1. If you hold it on top, it will make sure it gets it. So we're going through and we're making sure that sky blue's on the top there and is getting caught in the stitch. There's 2. And remember, on our third treble we need to switch the yarn colours again. So go through, yarn over and pull through 2, move your vanilla yarn out the way, and then we're yarning over and pulling through the sky blue to change colour again. Just going to give that one a slight tug to slightly tighten that one, but remember to leave it there, so we're going to crochet over it again. So with the sky blue into the corner, we're doing 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Oh, there should be 3. It came undone. There's 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, and then we need to do 3 more trebles going over that vanilla yarn. So 1, 2, and when we get to our third, remember we need to change colour. So go through and pull up a loop, so you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, let go of your sky blue, and then pull your vanilla through the last 2 loops. So we're now working with the vanilla again, and we're going to crochet over the blue. So we're doing 3 trebles into this space. So 1, 2, and now this is where we change colours again. So go through, pull through 2, leave your vanilla, and then pull your sky blue through your last 2 loops. Next corner, 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles. Remember to crochet over your yarn with the vanilla. So 1, 2, and 3, 2 chains, 1 and 2, and then 3 more trebles. 1, 2, pull through 2, put your sky blue down, pick up your vanilla, and go through your last 2 loops and slightly tighten that stitch. 3 trebles into the middle space. Remember to carry over your sky blue yarn. So there's 1, and then 2, and for your third, pull through 2, drop your vanilla, pull your sky blue through those last 2 loops. At our last corner, which is the 3, 2, 3 again. So remember, crochet over the vanilla. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2. There's 1 treble, 2 treble, and then we are doing our third treble purely in our sky blue this time. 1, 2, and then we're joining with a slip stitch in our third chain. So 1, 2, 3, in through this one. It won't come through. There we go. And that is now how it looks after round 3. And you can fasten off both of those yarns now, the B and the C, which is the vanilla and the sky blue. And we want to join yarn A, which is the coral, to any second space on any side. So I will show you how to do that shortly. So this is our square so far. I think it looks really cool. It says that we need to join yarn A to second space on any side, and what they mean by second spaces is this one, because this will be your first space, and that's second, third and fourth. So if I turn it over, that would be my second space, that would be my second space, and that would be my second space. So we need to join the yarn, which is the coral, in through this hole here. So this is going to be another round where we're changing colours again. For now that I've got the coral on my hook, I want to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3, and then we are going to do 2 trebles into that same space that we've just joined the yarn. Oh, my non-working yarn's getting in the way. So there's 1, and there's 2. We're then going to do 3 trebles into the next space, but we're going to change our yarn colour again on our 3rd treble. So there's 1, there's 2, and then I'll do the first part of the treble and pull through the first 2 loops, and then I need to get yarn C, which is the sky blue, which is the one that we used before just here on the corners, and join that one on. So as I said and showed you last time, I'm just pinching the working yarn of the coral just to make sure it doesn't move the tension, and then I can put the sky blue over my hook and pass that through and pull it, and then pass it back again, and I still got hold of that end. I now want to find the non-working yarn of the sky blue and put that under as well, so I can pull on the sky blue to make sure that one's tight enough on my hook. So now we're going to go into the corner spaces again and doing 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles again, but I'm just going to pick up that coral yarn and hold it over so I remember to work over that one. So I've got it just held there at the back, and I'm going to catch it in my stitch. So there's 1, 2 and 3. Can you see I've got a really big loop here? If you pull slightly on the non-working yarn, that will tighten that one, and when you tie it off and weave your ends in, you can pull that one a little bit tighter to make sure it stays. So I've done 3 trebles, I want 2 chains, and then I'm going to go back over that coral yarn again and do 1, 2, and this is where we need to change colour again. So pull the sky blue through your first 2 loops and put it down, and then your coral is going to go through your last few loops. And now we're going to carry the sky blue at the back of our work and crochet over it with our next stitches when we're crocheting with the coral. So into the next space, we are doing 3 trebles into the next 2 spaces this time. So yarn over and into this space. I'll put the sky blue around the back. Oh my gosh, there's so many ends already. So into this one. There's 1 treble, 2 and 3, and do the same in the next space, but remember to catch that yarn. 1, 2, and then change colour on the next one. I pull through 2 loops, so I need to put my coral down and then go through those 2. So I'm carrying my coral now around the back, and it's 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles. So 1, 2 and 3, and then chain 2, 1, 2, and then 3 more trebles, 1, 2, and remember to change colours here, so pull through 2, drop the blue and go back through with the coral, which will have 3 trebles into each of the next 2 spaces. When you get to the corner, remember to change to the sky blue, and it's 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles. Keep that going all the way around. I'll meet you at the end of the round. So I'm at my final corner, and the magazine actually fails to explain this. So I've done 3 trebles, 2 chains. I've just done 2 trebles there. And we actually want to do a colour change for the last treble here. So I'm going to pull through 2, and then I'm going to drop my blue and pull my coral through. And then I'm going to finish this round off with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain. So my 3rd chain is just here, and I'm going to slip stitch 1 tip. Make sure this yarn here of the blue is over the other side of your square, because otherwise you're going to get caught with that one in the front. So slip stitch into the 3rd chain, and that is round 4 complete. No, it's not. We want to do a slip stitch into each of the next 2 trebles. So we're going into the stitches, just like we did before. We're doing a slip stitch there, and then we're doing another slip stitch into the next treble, and then we can work into the centre space again. So for the start of round 5, do your chains. I'm not going to tell you how many. I'm going to do it off camera because I've told you everything we need to do so far, and I can't give the full pattern away. So I've done them. So now we need to do 2 trebles into this space, but we're going to be changing yarn colours again. So there's 1 treble into the space, and we'll just pull through 2 loops with that one because we need to change to the bright red. So it didn't actually say anything in the instructions for the last round, but you can actually fasten off the sky blue, this colour as well. There was at no point in the last round where it told us to do that, but we don't need it again, so you can fasten that one off. So you haven't got the kind of 3 working yarn ends hanging off your project at once and you don't get confused, because we don't want that. So I'm joining my red just as I have done with my other colours and pulling it through the loops. I'm just going to tighten that one a bit and then put it between my fingers. I'm then going to, my non-working yarn is a bit long there, so I just want to put that one under there as well. Right, next space, ready to go. We're doing 3 trebles into the next space. So yarn over. It would help if I followed the instructions that I've given you all the way along and carried the coral along. So I've got that one there ready to stitch over. And there's 1, 2, and 3 into that space. And then sticking with the bright red, we're doing 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles into the corner space. So we're still going over the coral yarn. So 1, 2, and 3. Then 2 chains, 1, 2, and then 3 more trebles. 1, 2 and 3. We're not changing colours just yet, so you can do that third treble. We're then going to do 3 trebles into the next space and change colour on the third treble back to the coral. So into this one, and there's 1, there's 2, and we're changing colour on the next treble. So pull through 2 loops, and then I can pull my coral through the last 2, and then we're going to carry our red over. So we want to do 3 trebles into the next space and go over the red. So I've got that one held at the back. 1, 2, and then we're changing colour again. So yarn over, pull through 2, put that one down, and pull the red through the 2 loops. And now we're doing 3 trebles into the next space and carrying the coral. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Into our corner we're doing 3, 2, 3, still carrying the coral. So 1 treble, 2, and 3, and then chain 2, 1, 2, and then 3 more trebles. 1, 2, and 3. We're then going into the next space, still carrying the coral, and doing 3 trebles with a colour change on the last treble. So 1, 2, pull through 2 loops, drop the red, and then I'm pulling the coral through. Just going to tighten that one slightly. So 3 trebles into the next space with the coral. 1, 2, and then we're changing colour back to the red. So pull through 2, drop that one, pull the red through, and then you can tighten that one. So 3 trebles into the next, carry your coral around the back. 1, 2, and 3, and then a 3, 2, 3 in the corner, going over the coral. 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 chains, and then 3 more trebles. 1, 2, and 3. So now I'm getting all tangled up. Moving into the next space, carrying a coral around the back. 3 trebles, changing on the third treble. 1, 2, and now your change comes in here. So sorry about that, my lighting system actually ran out of power, so I've had to charge it. So I can't remember where I was up to, but it looks like we've just changed colours to the coral. And now we want to do the 3 trebles of the coral in the middle and carry the red on the back. So 3 trebles into this one. 1, 2, 2, and then we're going to change back to the red on the third treble, and then carry the coral across the back, 3 trebles into the next space, 1, 2, and 3, and then going into the corner, remember to carry the coral around the back and do your 3, 2, 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, and then you chain 2, 1 and 2, and then your 3 trebles, 1, 2, and 3. So now we need to do 3 trebles in the red into your next space, carry the coral across the back. I just want to make sure that one's completely at the back, I don't want to get it tangled. So there's 1 and 2, and then I'm going to do the third treble still in the red, and then we want to do a slip stitch into the third chain. So 1, 2, 3 there, I can go into that one. I just want the red and not the coral at this stage. So many ends. So there's that one, and we're moving on to round 6 now, but we can fasten off the coral before we move on. So now we're moving on to round 6, and this round we'll use 2 different colours, and this is the bright red and the one we haven't used yet, which is yarn E, the royal blue. Round 6, you need to start off with chains. I'm going to do them off camera and not tell you how many. Just so I don't give the full pattern away. And of course I've knocked the camera now. Oops. So we're then going to do 2 trebles into that space. So 1 and 2. So now moving on to the next space, we're doing 3 trebles. I just want to tighten that one a bit. We're doing 3 trebles, but we're changing colour on our third treble. So there's 1, there's, oh, we don't want a half treble, we want a treble. There's 2, and I'll just pull that one through 2 loops, and I'll get my royal blue ready. So I can put that one over and pull it through. I'll pull the red tight and pass that one behind. I'm going to get the non-working tail of the blue as well and pass that one behind just so I can pull on the blue. From here we are going to be 3 trebles into the next space. I do want to get my red now and make sure it's the right tail. You don't want your non-working tail, you want your working tail of your red. This is what I mean with the amount of ends, it does get confusing. So you can carry that one along the back now. And we're going to do our 3 trebles in the royal blue. 1, 2, and 3. Corner space, like they always are, same amount of stitches, carrying the red. 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, and then another 3, 1, 2 and 3. We then want to do another set of 3 in the blue, so carry the red behind the back. 1, 2, and then we're going to draw the red through the next treble. So there's that one, put the blue down and draw the red through. And now we're going to do 3 trebles in red in the next space, but remember to carry the blue across the back. Oh, messed that one up. So there's 1 and 2. And there's the third. And then we're going to do the red in the next space as well. 1 and 2. And then change colour on the third. Put the red down and carry the blue through. So carrying the red across the back, it's 3 trebles into this one. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3 in this corner. So there's 1, 2, 3, carry 2, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 more trebles, 1, 2 and 3, and then we're all knotted up here. We want to do one more set of 3 blue trebles with our red around the back. Oh, my red's not around the back. I don't like that. There we go. So there's 1 and 2, and I'm going to change to the red in the next treble. Pull through 2, drop the blue, pull the red through, tighten the stitch. And now we've got the blue at the back, and we're going to do red for the next 2 spaces. So there's 1, there's 2 and 3. That blue is sitting too high up for my liking. I don't like that. I'm just going to undo them because it's not round the back, it's on the top of the stitches, and I don't want to be able to see it from the front. So I'm going to pull it down a bit. Make sure I still catch it in the stitch. So there's 1, 2 and 3, and then another red set. But remember, we're changing colour on this one. 1, 2, and then we're changing to the blue on this stitch. Remember to carry your red. So 3 stitches in this one, 1, 2, oh, don't want to do that, and 3, 3, 2, 3 in your corner, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2 and 3. Blue in the next 3, but we're changing colour on the 3rd stitch. So there's 1. I don't like how that peach is, or that coral is sticking up there. There's 1, 2, and change colour on this one. Two sets of red now. So I've got my blue around the back. Oh, yarn over first. There's 1, 2 and 3. Same in the next space, carrying the blue. 1, 2, and here's where we change to the blue again. You can pull on the red to tighten that one. So 3 blue in the next, carrying the red across the back. 1, 2 and 3, and then 3, 2, 3 in the corner. 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 3 more trebles. 1, 2 and 3. 3 trebles into the next space. 1, 2 and 3. Then we can join with a slip stitch to our 3rd chain for the end of the round, and then we can fasten off yarn D, which is the bright red, and then we're going to continue with the royal blue. So you'll be pleased to know this is the last round and there's no more colour changes. I mean, look at all those ends. We have not got a fun time to look forward to. So we're starting off round 7 with 2 chains, and then we're going to do a half treble in each of the trebles until we get to the corner. So we're yarning over, and our first stitch is that middle half treble there. And by middle, I mean middle of those 3 stitches. Pull up a loop so you've got 3 on your hook, and then we're pulling through all 3. And then we're going into the left half treble of that cluster of stitches. Then into the next one, we've got 3 here. So 1, 2 and 3. Now this is where it's loose, because that's where we join the blue. You can see we've got a tail there. If you want to tighten that one before you do your next stitch, that will help it to keep its shape. So there's also a hair in here. There we go, it's gone. So 3 more half trebles. 1, 2 and 3. And then you've got 3 more here as well. So 1, 2 and 3. When we get to the corner, we're doing 2 trebles, 2 chains It says 2 trebles, 2 chains, 2 trebles, but we've just done a load of half trebles, so why would we be doing trebles? Again, I'm ignoring what the book says. I'm doing 2 half trebles, 2 chains, 2 half trebles, because it completely defeats the purpose of doing the half trebles here and then doing trebles in the corner. So yarn over in through that space, 1 half treble, 2 half treble, 2 chains, 1, 2, and then 2 more half trebles, 1 and 2. Now it tells us to do a half treble into each stitch along. Now here is where I'm going to stop doing this on the video, because I have given a lot of this pattern away in the video. It tells you under round 7 how many half trebles you need to do to get to the other side. I'm not going to tell you because of copyright, so I'm just going to do a few with you. So for example, there's 1, 2, and 3. I'll go up to 5. Oh, 4 and 5. It tells you in the book how many you need, and then at the corners, remember it's 2 half trebles, 2 chains, 2 half trebles. Go all the way around. I'll meet you at the end. So I've just done my last corner with my 2 trebles, 2 chains, 2 trebles, and I know it's my last one because I've only got a little bit of that row left, because obviously there's that bit of height of the blue there. Now we need to do a half treble into each of the next 6 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. After that, you can join with a slip stitch in the second chain. So our chains are these, our chains are those 2. So I'm going to go into that one, do that slip stitch. So you can fasten that one off now because we've finished our square and we just have the border left to go. So you want to get your white yarn and join it to any of the corner spaces. Now I'm going to do a different stitch for my border because my square is too big. And I don't know if you've watched any of my other border videos, but I've changed the heights or changed which stitches I used, depending on how big my square is. Now, if your square is the same size as all your other squares here and you want to stay with the stitch they've suggested in the magazine, then you would chain 2. And all of the way around, you would use the treble stitch. So you would yarn over, go into your next stitch, and then pull through 2 and pull through 2. I'm going to be using the double crochet, so it's exactly the same pattern, I'm just doing a different stitch. So I'm going to chain 1 instead, and then I'm going to go into my next stitch, and we need to do 10 of these. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And remember, if you're doing the trebles, you would have just done 10 trebles instead. We then need to do 2 stitches into the next stitch, so I'm going to carry on with the double crochet. There's 1 and 2, and then we need to do a stitch into each of the next 11 stitches. So if you're using the treble, remember to do 11 trebles. So I've done 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. At the corner you want to be doing 2 stitches, 2 chains, then 2 stitches. So I'm going to be doing 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets. If you're using the treble stitch, remember to do 2 trebles, 2 chains, 2 trebles. So there's 1, 2, 2 chains, and then 2 more double crochets. We need to carry on with that pattern going around, so it's 10 stitches, 2 stitches in the next one, and then 11 stitches, and then you're doing 2 stitches, 2 chains, 2 stitches in the corner. Remember the stitch, where I'm saying stitch, I mean either a treble or a double crochet, depending on which one you're using. If you go all the way around, I will meet you at the end. So I'm at my last corner. Remember the changes of the stitches here if you're doing the trebles, to do trebles here. If not, do the double crochets like I am. So into your corner space you want to do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and then we're doing 2 chains, 1 and 2, and then we're joining with a slip stitch. If you have done trebles, it will be your second chain that you're joining in. With the double crochets, we're just joining in that first chain. So we can fasten that one off now. So there you have it. Issue 24, the Snow White Granny Square, is complete. Remember to subscribe if you want a notification for the next video. Leave me a like and a comment if you've enjoyed making this square. Would love to hear from you. And again, well done on 1,000 subscribers. See you for issue 25.